Hello, my name is Christina Moore, and this video is a reflection upon my experience in the EdTech program at Boise State University. When I first became interested in online teaching, it was really because of necessity. I was offered to teach a course, an introductory biology course at a local community college, and the first course that they offered me was an online section. I had barely had any experience teaching to begin with, let alone teaching online, so I immediately immersed myself in trying to find as many resources as possible to assist me in preparing to teach this class. I was very surprised and delighted when I discovered that about 10 minutes from my home in my hometown at Boise State University, they offered a degree that specialized in online teaching for adult learners. So as I began teaching this course online, and then again referencing back to some of the coursework involved in the Master in Educational Technology at Boise State, I realized that I could supplement my education. I could fill in the missing areas of knowledge that I needed in order to teach this course by enrolling in the EdTech program at Boise State. So in this video, I'm going to showcase a few of my very favorite projects that have really influenced my own teaching, have influenced my perspective in how I design courses, and showcase many of the skills that I have learned by taking these courses in educational technology at Boise State University. I would like to take the next few minutes of this video to talk about some of the most meaningful projects, some of the projects that I gained the most knowledge, information from, and or some projects that I had the most fun completing. To begin with, one of the first classes that I ended up taking was EdTech 502, the Internet for Educators. I have had zero graphic design experience. I have had zero HTML, CSS programming experience. So this class was extremely intimidating for me because all of the projects relied upon us developing web pages, exercises, lessons on our own, completely new, on our own from HTML and CSS. So I can say with confidence, each of the projects on this list, from the netiquette page to the copyright scavenger hunt, the M-learning activity, the virtual field trip, in every one of these projects, I gained new knowledge about HTML coding, new knowledge about CSS style sheets, in addition to the content of the projects themselves. This course netiquette page, for example, I actually still use to this day in my courses. I actually have a link to this web page built into my course syllabus. Also, the copyright scavenger hunt is something that I actually do use in my course to help me emphasize points of importance about copyright and plagiarism. So I do refer back to these projects in my own professional experience as an online instructor. One of the other courses that I found most valuable was EdTech 512, which is online course design. In this course, we created and designed a course from the beginning. So from the analysis to the evaluation planning, concurrent design, implementation, and the summative evaluations. Each of these components to course design was addressed in this final project. this method of backward design, starting from the end, what you want your learners to know, and working your way backwards as you're developing a course, is something that I now apply to every course that I design. So when I created this online biology course at the College of Western Idaho, I used these tools. I'm going to develop a new course, a fully online anatomy physiology course. As I begin, I am still working in these backward design principles, just as I did when I was completing this course project for EdTech 512. As I mentioned before, graphic design is not my specialty. I have had zero experience in graphic design. My background is actually in science, so art was never something that I learned about. Graphic design was never something that I learned about. So in EdTech 506, Graphic Design for Learning, I was able to not only apply the knowledge that I gained in 512 with backward design to create a new lesson on an introduction to cells, but I then used many of the principles that we learned about in design, including CARP, continuity, alignment, repetition, proximity, to create many of these images. All of the images contained on this site are images that I created from scratch in Fireworks. They may not be the most sophisticated, but they are things that I did have the experience creating each element, each layer within Fireworks. It is because of this experience that I have been able to, with confidence, go into Fireworks and create other graphics that I use within my real life application online course. So from my own perspective, from design and HTML through EdTech 502 and through graphic design learning at EdTech 506, I have gained considerable knowledge about coding and graphic design that I never had before. Practical experience that I was able to practice, get feedback on, and improve over the course of the semester. One of my favorite courses has been EdTech 543, Social Networking. What you see here is a course shell that was a final project for the social networking course. It was to create a healthy living MOOC, or massive open online course. One of the things I really loved about this was, surprisingly, that we had very little structure in terms of what this final project could look like. So within my group, while it was difficult in the beginning because we didn't have very rigid instructions about what to do, it was actually really liberating in the end because we were able to be very creative. We also had a chance to apply all of the knowledge that we gained throughout the course into this final project. So there were components, exercises within the course that we talked about, creating social media guidelines, how to manage student online interactions, how to create online assessment plans, how to create course assignments to be launched online. All of the components of this MOOC allowed us to really implement the knowledge that we gained from the course. So we were able to go out and create profiles in these different sharing platforms in Google, MyFitnessPal, and Moto, Twitter. We actually had practical application in the course. We were forced to practice that. And then in the end, we were able to implement them into this overall course shell. This really was one of my favorite assignments I was really excited in the end to be able to create these digital badges. Like I said, they're very simple. These are things that I created in fireworks, once again, that I never probably would have done had I not had the experience from EdTech 506. It is because of these projects that I've been able to increase my learning and my knowledge and the application of this technology in my own practice. In closing, I would like to thank some of the instructors that I've had the privilege to work with while completing my EdTech coursework at Boise State University. I've been able to take several courses from Diane Hall, including EdTech 522, Online Teaching for Adult Learners, during my very first semester. Your knowledge and willingness to assist our learning is exemplary. Ross Perkins, during my semester taking evaluation for editors, he really challenged my thinking about what it means to conduct research in EdTech. So for that, thank you for asking the questions that forced me to rethink my preconceived notions about research. Graphic design has never been a strength, but thank you, Patrick Lowenthal, for giving me the confidence to experiment and for your constructive feedback. I am proud to say that I now regularly use Adobe Fireworks to create supplemental images for my own course. One of my favorite classes has been EdTech 543, Social Networking. So Jackie Gerstein, thank you so much for your enthusiasm and confidence in all things social media. It has had a direct influence in my own integration of these tools. And while the synchronous lesson assignment in Advanced Online Teaching Methods that was facilitated by Glory Hinnick was one of my most difficult, I found that it was also one of the most rewarding. Who knew that I would spend the better part of a week preparing and at least 8 hours rehearsing for a 15-minute lesson? And finally, Carrie Rice, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to be a part of the program as a graduate assistant. I learned so much from facilitating some of the feedback for your 521 course. And I learned a lot about design and social media working with my fellow grad student that semester, Lana Grover. In Lana, I have found a great collaborator and friend. And speaking of friends, I would also like to note that the emphasis in collaboration among the students in EdTech was one of the highlights of this program. It is because of the varied expertise of my fellow EdTechies that I was able to make it through some of the most difficult assignments. A very special thank you to my partner in life and crime, my fellow EdTech graduate student, Ben Moore. We've worked through this program together. You have challenged me to be a better person, and your support and encouragement continues to give me the strength and the confidence to reach for my goals. And finally, our beautiful, amazing children, Samuel and Sophia. Your presence lightens my life and brings me infinite joy. You have patiently shared my attention with my portfolio baby these past few years. So I want to thank you for standing with your mom as I was going to school alongside you. I have already experienced that the knowledge and expertise I obtained through my coursework in educational technology at Boise State has opened doors and revealed many new opportunities for my future. And it is with this knowledge at hand that I look forward to many new adventures. Thank you.